Hi, this is where we're starting this game, which is a 3-minute, 2-second increments with white being Magnus Carlsen, the current world champion, that sort of thing. And his opponent is Super Grandmaster Anish Giri from the Netherlands. Now, here we have the position that I've got for you, that they carry on, and it's black's move here. Of course, Magnus has got 3.02 seconds, like 3 minutes and 2 seconds on his clock, whereas black has a little bit less. So here we go. The first move of the day is bishop e7. And here's queen g3 and g6, and bishop h6 and d6, and bishop e2 and bishop e6, and rook d1 and queen d7, and ed6 and cd6 and castles. Now, white has, one thing I've noticed about these two players is the current game from 2019 is seen to be deemed to be the best game for 2019 thus far, where white is Magnus Carlsen and black is, of course, Grandmaster Giri. So I've noticed that there's a wee pattern, just at least in these two games, is that Magnus tends to give black pawns away. So gives black pawns from his collection of them. White looks like they're not so good, even though we now initially have 3 pawn islands for white and black. And white's pawns are doubled here, of course, so they're doubled isolated. And black has this isolated D pawn, which is neither here nor there really. So after castles, we have long castling, and bishop comes back to e3 because it says, well, why am I hanging around on the king side? Because the king side's on the queen side, which is the king side, is it? Or is it the queen side? So back comes the bishop to bear down on the g1 to a7 diagonal. So bishop to e3, which is attacking the pawn, and white is met with queen a4 and queen f3. It looks pretty kind of like maybe even or something like that, and who knows what can happen here. So here we have queen c6, and Magnus thinks for about the longest time I saw him in the whole game, and he plays queen f4, and now it's b6 to defend the a pawn, and bishop f3, I think. No, a4. And is it queen a4? No, it's rook d7 and a5. And look, this is a pawn. Just offered a pawn up. So that's going to be pawns like doubled on a file, a isolated d pawn, and a set of pawns on the kingside island. So black takes this pawn, and so Magnus swings his rook into action on the b file. And who would think that it's soon over? Rook c7. So what would you play here for white? And if you've seen it, it's good for your memory to remember what Magnus plays here. So white just opens up more lines to the king with c5, and I do believe that black takes this pawn, yes, and here comes this bishop to f3 and queen d6. Now what would you play? It's not long to go, so I've noticed that, as previously mentioned, Magnus seems to be playing very similar to the game of this year, where he succeeds in winning against the Super Grandmaster, who is quite theoretical. So Magnus plays here Queen e4, which is threatening something. What is it threatening? It's threatening a couple of moves. But black plays Rook d8. And then Magnus went for peace in this game. We had plenty of time left, and his opponent had about 32 seconds or 25 or so. Magnus went for a certain piece. What was it? And his opponent saw him reaching for it, and before he even got to touch the piece, he resigned. What was the move? So here Magnus went for, have you guessed it? I hope you have. It's sitting on the back rank, so that's a clue. It's not the king, it's the rook. Now the rook can just come up to here. Check. And I'm sure Fritz would even play it. Now if king b8, then we've just got queen to a8 checkmate. So the king comes up here, and then rook takes, rook check. Very important, this is a check. And either king takes or bishop takes, and rook d1 is final. That's the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed that wee game. I'm just going to go backwards like I used to. Just show it to you fast. I believe that this opening is in English. I'm not completely sure. So I'll just show you that game real quick. Very simple. And so rook b8 didn't get played, and rook d8. And this, if king takes or bishop takes, because one has to do it, then rook d1 is final. Because the bishop can't come to d5 because of rook d5. Thank you very much.